And this morning, Music City is just hours away from its second presidential visit in less than a year. President Obama is scheduled to give a speech here today on that recent executive action on immigration.
News Channel 5's Adam Gassimi is with us this morning. Adam, glad you're with us. You're down at the Casa Azafran, that's on Nolensville Pike, kind of like a convention center for the Hispanic community, and that's where the president will be today, right?
Yeah, that's right, Steve. I want to show you kind of things here behind me. There are a couple of Suburbans that have showed up, a number of satellite trucks for media from around the country showing up here, preparing for the president to arrive in just a few hours. Now, President Obama says his action could shield 4 million people from the threat of deportation, and he had to make that action because Congress refused to do anything. He says, or he'll be speaking here at Casa Azafran, a community center and hub for nonprofits dedicated to helping immigrants in Nashville. The center was built just 2 years ago with federal funding. Renato Soto is Conexión America's executive director who met with the president in January to discuss immigration reform. Opponents of the president say his executive action on immigration is unconstitutional, and they are vowing this morning to fight and stop it. Now, right now, Air Force One is slated to land in Nashville around 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then it will be wheels up just a little bit after 6 o'clock tonight. So just only a few hours for the president here in Music City. His last visit came in January, so less than a year ago, when he spoke at McGavock High School about education. We're live along Nolensville Pike this morning in South Nashville. Adam Gassimi, News Channel 5 HD.
Adam, thank you. So right now, let's head over to Dave, who has more on what we can expect with the president's visit.
Well, they're telling us from mid-afternoon through the rush hour, Amy, that this whole southeastern part of Nashville, from the airport westward over to Nolensville Pike, north of Thompson Lane and 440, is an area that could be subject to traffic disruptions because of the movements of the presidential party. So you're being advised to avoid this area. If you normally drive home through here, they're saying you should find an alternate route. Well, that's a big area. It does include some major thoroughfares. Depending upon how they exit and enter the airport, it could involve I-40, I-440, Briley Parkway, Murfreesboro Pike, I-24, Nolensville Pike. And just be aware that this could happen at any time. For security reasons, they don't tell you when the traffic will be stopped. You just need to be aware of that. So take Lebanon Pike or go north and east. If you have to go that way, you can take 65 down to the south to Brentwood, work your way to the east. But this is the area you want to avoid this afternoon. There will be motorists trapped in traffic unexpectedly somewhere in that area this afternoon. That's 5 Live Traffic, 7:05 right now. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Don't forget, we'll have complete coverage of the president's visit to Nashville today. You can see the updates both on air on News Channel 5 and on newschannel5.com. Meanwhile, Attorney General Eric Holder is headed to Memphis. He's going to be meeting with officials and community leaders where protesters have been steadfast but peaceful after the deaths of unarmed black men during confrontations with police in Missouri and in New York. Holder has visited Atlanta and Cleveland recently to talk about racial profiling and community policing.
Meantime, there's word of a pretty big drug bust just coming into the newsroom this morning. 13 people arrested in an undercover sting. It goes back several months. Police had been watching this group since April, according to the affidavits. The group apparently running drugs from Texas and then selling them here. They're facing additional charges for dealing those drugs in school zones as well. And new this morning, police were called to Vanderbilt's campus last night. Apparently shots being fired on campus. The caller said they heard 3 shots fired inside Cole Hall. Metro Police scrambled to get over there. They worked with campus officers from Vandy. They checked every floor. They looked all around the building and never did find anything. They couldn't find any witnesses either. So they cleared the scene and everything got back to normal within about an hour.
A family looking for justice after their baby died at daycare. 4-month-old Makai Cole suffocated while taking a nap at a Murfreesboro daycare that Angela Buchanan operated out of her home on Fern Drive in Murfreesboro. Buchanan was indicted on multiple charges, including felony murder. Buchanan alleges that she told Makai's mother that she fell asleep while the kids were napping. She woke up to find Makai lying on his face, unresponsive. Buchanan will appear in court December the 15th. And there's an ongoing investigation in Springfield after police say a woman's house was broken into and she was assaulted. Happened yesterday around midnight, and at first police believed she knew the attacker. Now they aren't so sure and have sent evidence to the TBI crime lab for testing. If you have any information, police want to hear from you, and their number is 615-384-8422.
Some big news for Spring Hill Public Library. Listen to this. One of the very first in the country to get what is called Wi-Fi lending program. Basically, that means that as long as you have an account at that library, you can access the library's mobile hotspot from anywhere in the nation and a lot of countries abroad as well. In case you didn't realize that, that's free Wi-Fi almost anywhere in the world. Libraries in Chicago, New York, and Sandusky, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland, they also have that program.
Well, the Tennessee Residence is now open for holiday tours. This, of course, is the home of Governor Bill Haslam and his wife, Chrissy. The theme for this year is Tennessee landscapes, and according to the Office of the First Lady, she visited more than half of Tennessee state parks to get ideas and materials for decorations. Those tours are going on Monday through Saturday through the 17th. You have to register for a tour on the website, and we've put up a link for you at newschannel5.com.